If you have flat feet, this video is for you. Today, we're gonna be diving into some of the best exercises you can do to keep those arches strong, keep you more comfortable throughout the day so you can walk around pain-free. Now, why does being flat-footed get such a bad rap? Well, a flat foot implies that when we step, our heel strikes and our toes go down, what happens is there's a collapse of this arch here. And the issue with that is this creates a very flexible foot, and if you don't have the control of the musculature, it can really stress a lot of the ligaments. The plantar fascia is one of them, also the posterior tibialis tendon, and a lot of the joints too. So what we got to do is create more dynamic stability of this arch, so when we do step, here the arch is elevated and it's better control, and it's not just collapsing to the ground. All right, first up is one of my favorite exercises to train that posterior tib to control that eccentric pronation. All right, so that flat-footed position. So to perform this exercise, you're gonna grab a band, you're gonna put it around your ankles here. Okay, you're gonna find a neutral position where you're not collapsing here, so that just neutral arch. What you're going to do is invert your feet so that arch raises, and then you're gonna slowly allow those arches to go back to neutral. And then you're gonna repeat that. So you're gonna invert, and then slowly evert your feet where your arches are coming back down to the floor, but only to neutral. And then back up. And then nice and slow, about a 4-second lower. And to make this a little bit more challenging, you can step a little bit more outward, separate your feet, invert, slowly evert. Just a great way to get that posterior tibialis eccentrically controlling this pronation moment, which is what it does functionally during walking. All right, next up is one of my favorite anti-pronation exercises. So we're gonna do a step up. We need a box, and then you also need a TheraBand. So what I did was I wrapped this TheraBand around the box, and I'm gonna be using my right foot. So it should come on the outside aspect of the foot. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this TheraBand, you're gonna put it right underneath the outside aspect of your foot. So only the outside aspect should be coming in contact. Now this TheraBand is more of a cue. It's not really adding any resistance, but it's more demonstrating if you're doing the exercise properly or not. Because when we step up, if you overpronate, you're going to lose this band. So it's gonna just tell you a little bit of feedback if you're controlling the pronation moment when you step up or down. So lateral aspect of the foot, pinning that TheraBand down, and all I'm doing is a step up and a slow step back. So it's a great way to really train my foot neutral posture, just avoiding that excessive pronation with some more dynamic functional movement. Now, one of the issues with that flat-footed posture is when we go to toe off during gait, we step, our foot lands, and then we have to push off. Our foot has to supinate like this to push off, create a rigid foot so that we develop some power and we can step. But with flat-footed people or people that overpronate, this foot stays in a relatively pronated position, so when we push off, it's a much weaker lever here. So we want to develop nice, strong supinators, and one of the primary supinators is that posterior tibialis muscle. So a great way to promote supination and directly strengthen that posterior tibialis muscle is a towel. Now I'm going to put my big toe and my second toe on that towel. My 3 toes on the outside are going to stay on the floor. And now I'm going to promote that heel raise position, simulating that supination moment when we toe off during walking. And you can notice that this is going to help promote more of an inversion movement and directly strengthen that posterior tibialis muscle functionally as it would if I were to walk. All right, to finish up, we're going to be doing an excellent exercise that puts all of this together. Now just remember, our muscles don't function in isolation. They function as a kinetic chain. So that means all the way down from the foot, up to the knee, all the way up to the hip. All of these have to be working together to function at a high level and support all of our muscles, tendons, ligaments, joints. So this exercise is gonna really reinforce that. So we're gonna be placing a band right around the midfoot and then right around the knees. The band around the foot is really gonna be promoting a more pronation motion. So we're gonna be fighting that the entire time. The band up in the hip is gonna be promoting hip internal rotation. So we're gonna be really pushing back against that. That's gonna recruit more of our glutes here. So great exercise to really start to help promote more of a neutral alignment with a more of a dynamic motion of squatting. So to perform this, find that neutral, knees in line with the hips, making sure we're not collapsing into pronation here. Find that neutral posture of the foot. And now what we're gonna do is just stand up and then nice and slow sit back down, trying to maintain neutral throughout the entire kinetic chain, throughout the entirety of the exercise. Really great way to train all of these muscles to work synergistically with motion, and that's gonna help translate to all those functional activities that we do throughout the day and help prevent excessive loading throughout our foot, but also down the entire leg from the hip down to the toes. Well, there you have it, some great exercises to help restore strength and control of your foot for those of you with flat feet or just with foot pain due to poor muscle control. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Physio Show. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and help support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything you need to know about your body, how it works, and what it needs to keep moving.